Greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we are not yet getting on the boat because I just remembered there are a couple of things left to do. First, the less important things. And I guess I should talk to some of these random bozos, just in case they have anything new as well, but...
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I got shot! I, don't know if you can help me with that.
Even I can see that. I told you not to bring your trouble with you, policeman. We've got troubles of our own here.
Yes, I know. One of them shot me.
Though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen.
Screw you. Guess you were right, the men with guns were coming for me after all. They weren't coming for me, now were they? This is no time for jokes. Can't you see I'm in pain?
What do you expect? Police officers get put into dangerous situations all the time. Sometimes they get shot. It's a rough trade you're in.
Screw you.
Man, you're like bleeding now. Reality's really messed you up.
Have you got any more urban myths?
I actually do have one. The strangest of them all.
Ooh.
But I'll need to fortify myself before I can tell that one.
Well, I may have just the thing.
Do you have anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? Tell me you got some story juice.
I've got this weird bottle of pale-aged vodka. You want that?
Let me see.
He takes the bottle and inspects it closely.
Ah, very high concept. Thanks. This last one is the most Martinet story I've ever heard.
He takes an almost comically long swig. Thus fortified, he continues.
I've never heard it mentioned outside of here. At first, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. But I've been on the coast 8, 9 months now, and in that time I've seen at least 3 expeditions come through, searching for something.
The Insulindian Phasmid?
A shovel hits the sand somewhere behind the reeds, near an abandoned construction yard. The young men look over their shoulders suspiciously. The sound of their digging seems loud in the sudden silence.
Cryptids?
Magic animals? No, man, this is serious stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. Serious stuff, like a place to call home?
No, Tequila. Most people already know where they live. It's guys like you and me that are the exceptions.
Your lost keys?
Hey! Fuck you, Tequila.
Yeah, fuck you too, man. Okay, what kind of expeditions?
All kinds. I've seen archaeologists, gangsters, even a bunch of ad agency types. I'm telling you, Tequila, this thing's got a pull on certain kinds of people.
What do you mean, certain kinds of people? What do you mean, you people?
You know, obsessive types. People with predilections.
I think most people have predilections, but yeah, I think I know what you mean. What exactly are we talking about here?
Some of those expeditions come back after a week or so, looking haggard and dejected. Others don't return at all. The first time I saw one of these expeditions, I thought they were fucking with me. There was no way it could be true. It was just too high concept, even for me. I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile state, and it might be too much for you to handle.
Oh, shut up and tell me. I can handle it.
Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But I'm warning you, it's pretty out there. Our story begins at a legendary design studio, right here in Martinez.
his eyes narrow with mystery.
There was this designer. His exact name is lost to history, but in life, he was a legend. Made it big in Aranya, where he did some real pioneering work on grotesque and sans serif typography. A fucking genius, man.
Grotesque typography? I'd like to see that sometime.
That is, if he even existed. Who knows? It's an urban legend, after all.
Yeah.
Anyway, sometime later he started his own personal studio here in Martinez. And that's when he started working on some really wild stuff. I'm talking some glass-smooth, forward-looking design language, the kind of thing that would totally overthrow the old regime, design-wise.
A paradigm-shattering revolutionary?
Sure, okay.
But then, something turned. You see, it's widely known that nose candy and pioneer graphic design work go hand in hand.
Wait, nose candy? God, nose candy, what a daft name.
You know tequila, nose candy, the white railroad, party powder.
The kids on the streets also call it Snow Day.
Thank you, Kim.
Or Emelan gold. For the plateau on which most of the world's supply is grown and harvested, typically by slave labor.
Classic.
Sinus salt, the white knight.
The White Knight?
Can't see, for its popularity among the aristocratic class of the prior century.
Along with a number of more banal street names. Blow, of course, but also flake, powder, pearl. Really, anything that's white will work.
Naturally.
He's talking about cocaine, baby.
Yes, I gathered, thank you. Are you referring to cocaine?
Shit yeah, tequila. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
He gives you a comradely bump on the shoulder as a couple milliliters of booze slosh out of his bottle. So what happened to him?
You've got to understand, the work this guy was doing was so high concept that regular amounts of cocaine just weren't cutting it. By the end, they were bringing it in by the lorry load.
Oh yes, as we all know, quantity of cocaine directly scales with the highness of the concept. The highness of something, anyway.
Now, as you might imagine, snorting that much cocaine can't be healthy for a regular human, right?
I don't know that I have to imagine that, actually.
Right.
Indeed.
Wrong. Do it all the time.
Thanks, electrochemistry. Real helpful. All the time?
All day, baby.
Seems like a good way to die again.
Hey, tequila, pay attention. The story goes that one day he was balls deep in work on what he thought would be his pièce de résistance, an advert so minimal it contained neither text nor images, just pure white.
Oh, he worked for the Beatles. What a taffer.
Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. His last words are recorded to have been, "It's as white as a blizzard of cocaine."
What a stupid fucking idea.
But the story doesn't end there. Supposedly, when they performed the autopsy, the coroner discovered nearly 1/4 kilo of coke jammed into his nasal cavity.
1/4 kilo? Would that even fit in the human nose? Like, maybe if you split it into both nostrils, maybe? And really shoved it in there.
That's almost certainly anatomically impossible.
Yeah. My thoughts exactly.
Wrong again, nerd. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh, Shut up, electrochemistry. I keep you low for a reason.
That's right. 250 grams of blow had accumulated in there over the years. We're talking high-grade Saramaritian pure. Not that cut-rate shit your grandma does.
Oh, accumulated in there over the years. That's somehow even less believable.
There are those who believe the designer was buried with this quarter key of nose candy still lodged in his sinuses. That's what those expeditions are looking for.
What? Surely they can't be so hard up as to be doing all that work for a quarter key of nose candy.
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull.
Wow.
No. Wow.
Well, I gotta give you that it's high concept, to be sure. Literally. And why do people think the skull is here? In Martinez?
Here's the kicker. This designer, this lead designer of a world-famous design studio, was born in Martinez. A local boy. Martin Martinez. That's why he brought his studio here, back to where it all began. And that's why they buried him here, too. Perhaps right under Ab's pipe there.
He points to the pipe. You'd think a famous designer like that would get an actual grave with a gravestone and shit, but okay. Maybe it got shelled, I don't know.
Or probably further down the coast, or in some yard in Martinez proper. A hidden mausoleum, no one knows exactly.
Probably because it's not real.
No, my grandma always told me his grave lay somewhere on the islets on the bay.
Hey, maybe I'll find it while I'm there.
This is ludicrous and physically impossible. Sinuses can contain that amount of anything.
Indeed. Also, even if there was cocaine in his nose at the time of his death, which probably, it wouldn't still be there for any number of reasons. And also, he'd probably be buried in a proper grave. And also, he probably doesn't exist.
Now, detective. Always the skeptic.
This isn't even a skepticism. This is just a basic grasp of reality.
My only question is, where does one get a shovel?
What do these expeditions even plan to do with it?
The archaeologists say they want to put it in a museum, the gangsters say they want to sell it on the black market, and the ad agency guys say they're seeking inspiration.
Oh yeah, a skull with cocaine in it. The best possible subject for advertisement.
Bullshit. They just want to snort it. But you could beat them to it, Harry. You could snort the magic skull cocaine instead.
Neither I nor they could possibly be that hard up for cocaine. Fucking...
I'm pretty sure they all just want to snort it, though.
Of course.
And why wouldn't they, eh? Sounds like right strong stuff.
Sure. Okay. Rosemary, you said something about the islets?
Don't listen to him or his grandma. He's just making things up.
Oh! He's just making things up, is he?
No, my grandma told me. I've heard other people say it too. That it's underwater. Or no. Maybe it was the storm sewers.
Or maybe it's in the air. Or in an ancient step pyramid offshore.
Maybe, Kim, maybe.
In a pyramid? Now that would be something.
Oh, shut up. What have you learned from the other expeditions?
They're pretty vague about it in general. The gangsters like to claim they're looking for the grave of a friend, with picks and shovels. The archaeologists act all official about it, saying they're conducting serious research. Honestly, I think they're not really scientists, just rich. The junkies, for some reason, are pretty upfront about it. They just say they're looking to snort some blow out of a dead man's nasal cavity.
Honest men on an honest quest. You should join them.
Shut the fuck up, electrochemistry.
By now, I'd say I know about as much about it as anyone on the coast.
Okay, I'm convinced. Let's go find it. Undertake it. Sure, why not?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on just a minute. Finding it right now is literally impossible.
What?
Why? When? Where? Who?
For one, the way is blocked by that big lorry that says Delta Logistics Company on the side. You definitely have to search the area behind that lorry too, yet it is impassable. And second, outfitting an expedition like that is expensive. It'd have to be a big production to do the cocaine skull justice. You need new gear, people who know what they're doing, all kinds of provisions.
Nah. I think I could just probably stumble upon it at some point.
It's just not feasible within the economic and temporal frame of our current setup. Matter of fact, unless a bunch of money just falls out of the sky, we might never know what's up with that skull.
I mean, a bunch of money just kind of falls out of the sky for me, apparently, every time I succeed in an encyclopedia check.
I have to agree. We barely have what we need to solve the case we've got now. We can't afford to run around chasing after quasi-mythical pieces of drug paraphernalia.
Alas.
Besides, it would look extremely bad for the RCM to be caught up in something that has the word cocaine writ large on it. The PR is tricky on this.
But we're keeping it out of the hands of random bozos. Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? Damn, that's too bad.
Wait. Maybe there's another way. Maybe up around the coast? Don't give up now.
Yeah, well, that's the reality situation for you. Who knows, though? Maybe someday we'll get our chance.
Wow. I didn't even get a fucking task for that. That's how nothing that was. Got 2 skill points. How would I put them in? I could put them both in empathy. Oh, interfacing. Why does it have? Why do these have those pluses next to them? I keep thinking I'm gonna be able to put points into them, but I can't. Oh well. Are there any more stories you can tell?
Not that I can think of, currently.
I guess that makes sense. You have been drinking a lot.
That might be the case, yes.
Okay. BC and you? Probably not, actually, but... Yeah, well. What a ridiculous story.
Park cop.
I got shot in the leg. Pointed at your limb.
Ouch. I did notice you limping, but I thought maybe it was your thing or something.
No, limping is not my thing.
When I was 16, I used to date this guy who had a limp, but it only showed when he was sober. So I guess it wasn't real or something. I don't know.
She shrugs, eyes glazed over. I don't know, maybe when he was drunk, he just didn't feel whatever was causing him to limp. It happens.
Anyway, shot in the leg. I'm sorry. Man, that must suck.
Yep. Now, the most important thing. The board game, Suzerainty. A civilization building board game where you get to choose a nation and set off to colonize and exploit other cultures. A star-shaped note on the box proclaims the game now includes a completely new genocide option. Ooh, just what I always wanted. Convince Kim to play with you.
What is detective work if not an elaborate game? You need logical inference, attention to detail, the ability to analyze your opponent's motives.
Sure. Right. Come on, it might help us think of more creative solutions to the case. Considering where we are in the case right now, I think we could use that.
I do feel like my thinking has become somewhat rigid. Maybe a little diversion to keep the mind limber is just what's in order.
See? He's doing the hard work himself. All he needed was a little nudge.
Alright, you've convinced me. How do we play?
I read the rules already. I'll show you.
You explain the basic setup procedures to the lieutenant, who seems to be a quick study. You each take your bag of tokens and counters and unfold the board between you.
Oh wait, maybe I should have said I don't know. Let's wing it. That way he wouldn't know the rule. No, that would be rude.
In the center is the crown of Revachon. Radiating outward are her colorful vessels, each one supplying some raw material desired by the suzerain. Apricots from Safre, archaeological treasures from Ilmarat, sugars from the Seminine Islands, and magenta cocaine from Supra Muindi and Sara Maritza. There's also a neat little log to keep track of your progress, in case you need to put the game away and return to it later.
Oh, good.
The lieutenant goes first. He draws a contract card and moves several of his workers to the Safre territory of the board, and the others to the Seminine Islands.
All right, Detective. Your turn.
You have a few options available to you. Will you try to fulfill contracts right away, or rearrange your workers to maximize production on future turns? Remember what the rulebook said. You'll want to choose a strategy early on and stay committed to it.
Who cares what some rulebook says? Am I a player or am I a slave to the rulebook tips? Just do whatever Kim did. I'm not a slave to Kim either. Let your workers rest for a while. That wasn't either of the options. There'll be time for resting once we've actually done something. Let's try to fulfill a contract.
You draw a contract card offering a number of coins in exchange for archaeological treasures. You place all your workers on the Ilmarat territory. On your next turn, you produce 6 units of archaeological treasure and fulfill the contract for a handful of coins.
Neat.
Not bad, Detective.
But not good enough, the lieutenant seems to be saying. As he completes his own contract card, the lieutenant is rewarded with 4 coins and a round wooden token that he places in the center of the board.
That's a market. It's worth 2 victory points.
Hey, why don't I get one of those?
Don't worry, it was mostly just luck. You'll earn some points soon enough.
What is that patronizing tone? You're one of the suzerain's trusted administrators. You may need to put the lieutenant in his place.
It's only game. Why you have to be mad? I'm not even sure what points are. That's part of the problem. Yeah, what's the point of points?
Points are nothing. They don't exist. They're just an arbitrary convention that games use to reward or punish players for certain behaviors.
Sinister tools of the proletariat, in other words.
If points are really arbitrary, as the lieutenant says, what's to stop you from playing the game the way you want?
That, detective, is the right question. Who came up with such a concept?
Game designers, I imagine?
Perhaps. Am I getting points right now? Look around. You're getting XP. But I don't think this game really has points.
There are some paranoid types who believe the moral intern keeps detailed score sheets for everyone in the Real Belt. But that's obviously nonsense.
Probably, yeah. I mean, the whole thing about... What's the term? I forget the term now, but the whole point of point systems in general, really. Social credit score, I think that's the term. Something like that, anyway. The whole point of point systems in general, even in systems like that, or maybe even especially in systems like that, is to make the people aware that they are being scored on these things, to get them to modify their own behavior. In games, this is to modify their behavior towards whatever the game designer thought would be fun. And the whole skill involved is to figure out how best to modify your behavior to coincide with the score system. Which isn't always in a way that the game developer intended, but, well, that's what playtesters are for. And outside of games, well, you can probably guess. Point is, if they had a system like that, it would probably be very obvious. Because that's most of the point.
Otherwise, no. There are no points, just your actions and the consequences of those actions.
Just like there are no honor points. None whatsoever.
That's reassuring.
That's just the way it is.
The lieutenant doesn't seem to find much value in dwelling on the subject. Suppose so? No points to be gained here.
Now, I believe it's your turn.
Glancing over the board, you see several possible strategies. Pressing more workers into service would increase your economic output and help you to survive a possible conflict with the lieutenant. Or you could ignore your labor supply and focus on fulfilling contracts for points and resources.
Ignore your labor supply, that's a winning strategy.
Those aren't your only options.
Do tell.
You could also show your workers how much you appreciate them by investing some of that wealth in them. After all, they're the ones producing wealth for the Suzerain.
Good point, Rhetoric. Why not reinvest a bit of that wealth they're producing into them? Make them greater, happier, better, stronger, faster, harder, or something like that.
Well, sure, you can do that. It's just not a terribly effective strategy, but then it's up to you.
Pish posh. Are you telling me that investing in my workforce is a bad strategy? Well, okay, maybe it is. Board games aren't exactly very realistic depictions of reality. Kim, what should I do?
That's up to you, detective. But remember, the objective of the game is to earn victory points for the Suzerain. You should probably pick one strategy and stick to it. Trying to do a little of everything is usually a bad idea.
Why don't we say screw the Suzerain and keep it all for ourselves?
Because the way you earn points is by pleasing the Suzerain, and the player with the most points wins the game.
The lieutenant assumes you're playing by the rules as written. But what's the point of playing if you can't make your own choices?
I suppose so. I never really did enjoy playing any of those civilization building games as intended. But what about the workers?
The workers are just there to produce raw resources. You're not supposed to worry about them too much.
That seems rather short-sighted. Well, I guess maybe the game doesn't take place over a very long period of time, but still.
The lieutenant assumes you're...
We can press more workers into service, focus on fulfilling contracts, or invest in my existing workers. Press more workers into service. That's a rather suggestive way to phrase that. Maybe I wouldn't need to press them into service if I invested in them and made it an attractive place to work. But maybe the game doesn't actually simulate that sort of thing. Well, let's find out. Why not?
To the lieutenant's puzzlement, you spend several turns building various improvements to your territorial infrastructure. Soon, your workers have access to clean water, paved roads, and basic hobbies.
Yeah.
In return, they produce one extra resource per turn.
I don't know if that's good or not, because I have no idea how much they produce per turn to begin with. And is that one extra resource per turn per worker or overall? You'd think it would also produce extra workers per turn because people are like, hey, this guy's giving us clean water, paved roads, and basic hobbies. Those are incredible luxuries, apparently. Gaze on your workers like a benevolent parent. I'm so proud of you, producing one extra resource per turn, which may or may not be a lot.
Too bad investing in your workers just isn't worth many points.
What do you mean?
Take a look at the scoring tables in the back.
Lieutenant turns to one of those appendices you skipped over earlier.
You see in Table 8C that investing in territorial infrastructure multiplies your final victory point total by 1, which is to say not at all. Whereas erecting monuments in Revachol gives you a multiplier of 5.
Wow. So the Suzerain just doesn't give a shit about territorial infrastructure, does he? What an idiot. So you're saying the values of the ruling class are completely divorced from the well-being of the people who generate their wealth? That seems extraordinarily short-sighted, which I can't say that's unrealistic, per se. It's almost like completely divorcing positions in the ruling class from any actual merit or competence leads to a ruling class that's completely divorced from competency and merit. Who would have guessed? Monarchist simps are such morons.
Yes, precisely.
Damn.
Nonsense. Remember what the lieutenant said. If points are arbitrary, who cares about winning? You should reject their system and just play how you want.
Yeah! Yeah, Rhetoric, yeah! Exactly. I'm gonna make sensible choices for a healthier and better nation and greater peoples as my workforce and loyal children. And damn the game if it doesn't reward this. 'Cause you know what? History will look kindly upon me. Even if the suzerain doesn't.
Now it's the lieutenant's turn to respond. He moves aggressively onto the Safre territory. Soon, his workers are producing a steady supply of extremely valuable apricots.
Extremely valuable. I didn't realize the suzerain was such a big fan.
How can you let the lieutenant dominate you like that? You need to hit back, and hard.
Dominate me? It's only game. Why you have to be mad?
For several turns, you struggle to respond to the lieutenant's burgeoning apricot empire. Eventually, you relocate the majority of your workers to Supremawindi and Saramaritsa, where they begin producing a bumper crop of cocaine tokens.
Oh joy. Just what I always wanted. Exceptional quantities of cocaine.
You draw a new contract card. According to the text, there's an aristocrat willing to trade a large supply of cocaine for a number of coins and access to a rare bonus. Amplified music worth 7 victory points.
Amplified music? He's selling me amps? Okay.
You know, this isn't unlike the situation the historical Revacholian Suzerainty faced in Safre in the middle of the last century.
Is it? Tell me more. Tell me more. Like, did he have a car?
Well, the suzerain was looking for new markets for all the cocaine it was producing, and it settled on Safre. By introducing cocaine into Safre under exclusive contract, the suzerain created an extremely valuable captive market for an extremely addictive product.
Oh, lovely. The fucking opium wars all over again. What does that have to do with the game? Are you suggesting I engage in opium wars in this? Is that even simulated? Do they simulate the fucking opium wars, but not the beneficial effects of basic luxuries?
If you could somehow get the lieutenant's workers addicted to your cocaine, you could not only make them less productive, you would also force the lieutenant to pay you for your cocaine tokens each turn.
Joy, can you even do that?
Yes, you can. It's right there in the rules.
Of course it is. They've got opium wars and genocide, but not...
Now's your chance. Show the lieutenant what happens when he patronizes you.
Shut up, authority.
You've reached a critical strategic juncture. How do you respond to the lieutenant's aggression?
Give back to the workers? Give what back to the workers? The cocaine? I'd rather not. But that's probably not what it meant. Hopefully. One way to find out, I guess. Sure, let's give back to the workers.
Instead of focusing on amassing points, you embark on a quixotic project to win the hearts of your worker tokens.
That was quixotic.
After several turns, you've unlocked advanced hobbies and health insurance. Your workers now produce an extra 2 resources per turn.
Yeah! Sounds good? I think? I don't know. Advanced hobbies. What the fuck is an advanced hobby? Health insurance? Insurance is a scam. Well, whatever.
You do realize the game is called Suzerainty and not Workers' Paradise, right?
What's the point of playing a game if I can't make my own choices?
Well, winning is usually the point of playing games. Here, watch this.
Winning? I don't think that's true. I mean, it's trivially easy to win if that's all you want to do. There's games out there where everyone wins every game and nobody fucking plays them. I believe it's generally fun. That's the point of playing a game. Among other things, I suppose, like building useful skills and keeping your mind flexible, as he said. That is apparently what we're playing this for, keeping our minds flexible. In that respect, maybe I'm doing a better job than you.
The lieutenant continues his strategy of aggressively producing apricots for export. He fulfills contract after contract, racking up ever more victory points.
I have no idea how this game works.
The end game is upon you. What will be your crowning achievement as the Suzerain's territorial administrator? You could continue your efforts to win the hearts of your worker tokens by building the rarely attempted public education system for your territories.
Efforts to win the hearts? I'm not trying to win their hearts. I'm trying to greaten them. Speaking of which, public education system. That sounds tasty.
Alternatively, you could actually try to win the game by building the extremely valuable victory column in Revachol, or by crushing the lieutenant in a devastating trade war. The choice is yours.
For almighty Revachol, go for the victory column. It's on, Kim. Launch a trade war. Fuck it. Build a public education system for your workers. You might be pleasing the suzerain, but I am building something that will stand the test of time. Something that will greaten the whole suzerainty. Far greater than some victory column, whatever that even is. You see, Kim, I am not working for my own glory in the eyes of the suzerain. I am working for the glory of the suzerainty as a whole. History will vindicate me. My devoted workers shall vindicate me. They shall tell tales of my greatness that will last far beyond the suzerain's fickle favor.
There's a reason very few players ever attempt to build a public education system for their worker tokens. It's extremely expensive and never pays off by design.
Why even have it then? This is a really weirdly designed game. Almost as if it's not a real game and it's just a series of vague snippets that don't actually form a coherent system and are just here to further the themes of a larger game that it's within, written by a bunch of bozos. Perish the thought.
Your boondoggle nearly bankrupts the suzerain's treasury, and you suffer a significant penalty to your final score.
Bankrupts the suzerain's... What? Okay.
Ouch.
The lieutenant says, cringing at your spectacular failure. You tell me that points are arbitrary. I decided to play the game how I wanted instead.
The lieutenant opens his mouth, as if to issue a blistering retort, then hesitates.
You know, Detective, there's something admirable about that, in its own way.
Damn straight.
Now, let's tally up the scores, shall we?
What am I gonna have? -50?
Computing the final scores is almost a game unto itself. You each spend an inordinate amount of time making stacks of coins, consulting tables, and struggling with basic addition and multiplication. After double, then triple checking your maths, you have your final score. -5 victory points.
I was
You'll
close.
be lucky if the Suzerain doesn't have your whole family executed for such a pitiful performance.
I was close, just off by 0. They can hate me and persecute me and execute me all they like, but I know that I did right by the Suzerainty. The lieutenant looks up from his tabulations.
I've got 20 points.
He says, slightly embarrassed at the point differential.
Well, there's always next time. Figuratively, I mean. There's no way we have time to play this game again.
What a silly game.
Now, let's clean up and get back to work.
Alright.
You hold the open game box before you.
Alright. That's that then. What a dumb game. Well, I certainly don't have time to play another game right now, considering that's about all the time we have for this episode. So until next time, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.